What's good, YouTube? It's Vlogmas Day 2. So guys, as you guys can see from the title, I'm going to be doing a story time for Vlogmas Day 2. But before I start, do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I post up a video, as well as give this video a huge thumbs up. I would gladly appreciate it. And do not mind the lighting. I really have bad lighting here. I'm at work actually on my break, so I decided to do this video because I have other videos in mind, but I don't have the materials to do it right now, so that's why I came up with the story time. So yeah, so don't mind anything behind me, just pay attention to me. Just finished eating McDonald's too, so I have my nuggets and my french fries, so I finished eating that. But yeah, so, and this is so ghetto because my phone is, it's not even on a tripod, it's on top of a Dairy Queen cup, so sad. But and I'm sick, so as you guys, like I said in the title, I'm doing a story time of my worst Uber rides in my life. I don't know how I'm gonna title it, but yeah, this is basically my story time. And I actually have two in mind. I think I feel like there's a third one, but I can't really remember the third one right now, so I'm just gonna mention the two. I'm gonna first mention the small type of one, and that's basically, this happened I think like a year ago. Like, it's been over a year. And so I like taking Ubers. It's very bad. Recently, like last year, I know like there was a month where I took 72 trips in 1 month with Uber. So that, if you really do the math, that's like 2.5 rides per day. Well, 2 to 3 rides per day. So that was really bad. And so but I was just too addicted to Uber. I'm addicted to Uber now, and I swear all my money goes out to Uber. And this is not even sponsored, so don't even this is not sponsored, but I'm just giving you my output with Uber, and I really enjoy using Uber. So even though I've had, like, again, like I said, 2 or 3 stories where it's been bad experiences, but sorry, the first experience was like I was going from my house to work. So I take Uber a lot when I go to work, if it's from my home, because I'd be too lazy to take transportation, to take the train and all that, when I could easily take the train with a monthly Metro card that I pay every month, and I don't end up using it, which is terrible. But I remember I requested it, and I requested it where I go and take the train. So I'm waiting for it. Mind you, I've been taking Ubers for like 3 or 4 years now, and every time if I request an Uber and I'm requesting it from that same location, I always put the same thing on the where is it picking me up from. So the stop, not the stop, but like it's like in Brooklyn, right? So because I don't want you guys to know where I be living, but it's in Brooklyn, and I put the same thing every single time. So this one day I put it again, the same thing, normal, and I'm like seeing like this guy's taking quite a while to get to me. Now, it's usually often like that if it's traffic or anything like that, so no biggie, I left it like that, it's whatever. And so I finally see it come up, and it's across the street from me. And at first I was confused because I couldn't find it, because it said it was here and it's about to leave soon, but I couldn't find the car. And then I found it, and it was like on the opposite side from where I was at. I had to cross the street. So we were on the phone at first because I was trying to find the car. When I located it, I go inside the car, and the gentleman was telling me was giving me attitude, and was like, oh, when you put in an address, you have to make sure that you put the actual street names. which was one street and the other street, or the avenue in the street. So they were like, you have to make sure that you put the same corner and not put the stop of the train, because I would put the stop of the train on the where to pick me up. And he was telling me this with attitude, and I was like, well, I've been taking Uber for a long time, and every time I get picked up here, I put the same address, and nobody had a problem with it but you. And he was like, oh, but you can't, you have to make sure that you put the right cross streets, don't put the train station because it's hard to find, this and whatever. And I'm like, but this is the first time this ever happened, and I always put the same exact thing every single time, and you're the only one that's giving me the issue with it. And then he stood quiet. So the whole ride, it was very quiet. Mind you, when I take Ubers, it's always quiet. Like, I don't speak. I always tend to watch my YouTube videos or like Netflix on my phone. So I really don't have verbal contact with them unless they speak to me. But this time it was like very silent and dead. And the thing is that I take Uber Pool. I do not take Uber X or Uber XL unless if I'm going to the airport, or I'm coming from the airport, or if it's more than one person or more than two people, like, then I'll take that. But if not, I take Uber Pool, where I share with other people, and nobody was coming in, and literally it's just us two, silently, and everything. And when I was leaving out the car and got dropped off, I didn't say bye. I didn't do nothing. And he probably, because we get rated as customers in the car, so he probably rated me like a terrible score, and I rated him a terrible score, because I like, who are you? If I've been taking Uber for, I mean, they don't know that, but for me to be taking Uber for that long, I'm not dumb. I wouldn't put an address that's not noticeable. You know what I mean? So I actually remembered of the third one right now in my head. So it's not, like, come on now. So that was like one of the minor ones. Second one that I actually did remember right now was that this also happened like a year ago, maybe a couple months ago, when I was going home, and I was taking the Uber from, I take 2 trains to go home from work, which is the L and the G train. So after I got off the L train, I decided to take an Uber from there, and I was with my boyfriend at the time, and we were both there. And when I requested the Uber, it says that we're Ubering with somebody else. Now the only problem with that is that when we Uber with somebody else, it doesn't tell us if they had a +1 or not. It only tells us if we're already in the car. So if we're already in the car and it's going to pick up somebody, it would say if they have a +1. But if they already are in the car and they're picking us up, it won't tell us if they had a +1. So they had a +1. And not to be disrespectful or anything, but they were like a little bit more heavy set. So I decided to sit in the back with them, because my boyfriend is a bit more bigger than me, and so he sat in the front, so he doesn't feel uncomfortable. So we're waiting for the Uber, and then the Uber is across the street from us. And then I think my boyfriend either called, because the app was acting weird, and the guy like kind of like cursed at us, kind of. He cursed at us because we're like waiting to cross the street, and he was like, come on, like hurrying us up. And I think he said a curse word, but like he was hurrying us up to cross the street, and we're looking at each other. We're like, yo, doesn't he see that there's these cars passing through? How we're gonna cross if there's these cars passing through? He had the disgustingest attitude ever. And then also inside, you know, when you have somebody come into your car, like, you need it to be presentable, even with the music. I mean, I know there's some people that play certain music and you're like, you know, whatever, you're in your own zone, but he was playing music that was not even appropriate. Like, what if there was kids in there? Like, what if we were younger than what you thought? Like, you do not know, and you're playing the bad music choices. Like, it was really bad and like very loud, and like if it was him on his own in the car and nobody else with him. So that was just a bad vibe in general. I ended up rating him a 1 star, and mind you, I rate all my Uber drivers 5 star, because, you know, they do the work that they do. But if you're very disrespectful, expect a 1 star or maybe even a 2 star towards your rating, because I don't play with that stuff. I really don't. Like if I really had a bad, if I rate you like that, that means I had a terrible, terrible, terrible ride. Because usually, like I said, I rate everybody 5-star, no matter who you are. So that was a bad experience. And my third bad experience before I get back to work, um, was actually not too long ago. It was probably like a month ago or two. Um, and I was heading to, I think I was heading to work. Again, I feel like this always happens when I'm going to work. I think I was heading to work. Or, I don't remember. But I think it was something like that, right? And, yeah, sorry guys, I had to cut it off for a quick second because people were coming in. I know. But, yeah, so it was my third Uber. I mean, this was my third one. And, I requested the Uber. And it was like an Indian guy or something. And it was picking up me, it was picking up somebody else and me in the same location. So, I'm going inside the Uber. And, everything's fine, perfectly fine. I'm the first one that goes in. We're still waiting for the second pickup that was in my same location. Mind you, Uber pool. So I'm here waiting, and the lady is calling him because she can't find his car. She was in the area, but she couldn't find the car. So she was like, "Where are you? This and this, whatever." And you know what the guy had the nerve to do? I was recording myself. I'm still recording myself. Guys, I wasn't able to finish telling you my story because I had finished break and I got rudely interrupted. But let me finish off real quick before more people come back here. But it was my third Uber ride, and the guy, I was in the middle saying that the guy, he couldn't find the lady, and the lady was calling him, and when the lady was saying, "Where are you?" or "What are you next to?" he was like, "Hey," and showing me his phone like I have to answer her. I'm like, you do not know where you're at. You can't tell that you're next to a pizzeria shop or across the street from thing or in the corner of. He literally said, I'm in the back seat, mind you, and he's in the front seat, and he's like, "Hey." I looked at him, I'm like, and then I was shouting out loud, I'm like, "All right, we're right next to the pizzeria shop in the corner of blah 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 and blah blah blah." She was like, okay, because when she would ask him, he would stay quiet. And she's like, "Hello?" And he would stay quiet again. I'm like, yo, why is he not answering? Most rudest person ever. And then he would demand me to tell her where we were at. And then also sometimes he would ask us to like direct him where he's supposed to go. First of all, you're the Uber driver. You have a GPS. And you got certain apps that tells you which way to go. Why are you asking us to do the research for you? But that's not the point. But yeah, that one, it was by far the worst one out of all of them as an experience wise. But yeah guys, but compared 3 bad experience compared to like 3 years worth of Ubers, it's not bad. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little story time that I had. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I post up a video. Also, give this video a huge thumbs up and comment down below anything else you guys would like me to do during Vlogmas. If it's story time, reactions, hauls, whatever it is, comment down below and I'll do it for you guys. And yeah, remember, on the road to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year or beginning next year. I don't think we'll get it by the end of this year, but let's try. And remember, Nessa loves you guys from the bottom of my heart, and I'll catch you guys in my next video, which is tomorrow. Bye.